Welcome to A Pair of Bookends, the book club you can carry anywhere. We are your hosts and hopefully your new bookish pals. I'm Helen MacDonald.
And I'm Lydia Clare.
We are so excited to be back with another minisode, and this one is one of our favourite specials, which we've only done once before, but it's still a favourite.
A firm favourite. It's tradition. If you do something more than once, right, you can class it as tradition.
Well, it's now tradition.
Right.
And this is our Women's Prize special episode where we are talking about the newly released Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist, the 2023 Longlist, which we were so excited for. And it came out a few days ago now, and we were desperate to find some time to sit down and have a little chat about it and talk through the books that we're looking forward to and what we think might make the shortlist. This is so funny because we've just been listening to our episode from last year when we were little baby podders, and it was our second recording, and we sound like we're trying to record something on the BBC. We just sound very
Hello, welcome to A Pair of Bookends.
It's very stilted, very weird to hear that back, but we were trying to find our feet, trying to find our voices, and I think now we just talk shit, so apologies if you missed the old vibe, but we're past it now.
Trying our thing.
So, Lydia, shall we read out this year's 16 long-listed books?
Absolutely. I think some people are going to recognise some firm favourites here, and then there's going to be a few that people are going to be like, what? Who is that? What is that? So, first book that is on the long list is Black Butterflies by Priscilla Morris.
Children of Paradise by Camilla Gordova.
Cursed Bread by Sophie McIntosh.
Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver.
Fire Rush by Jacqueline Crooks.
Glory by Novila Bulawayo.
Homesick by Jennifer Croft.
I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel.
Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow.
Pod by Larlene Paul.
Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes.
The Bandit Queens by Perini Schroff.
The Dog of the North by Elizabeth Mackenzie.
The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell.
Trespasses by Louise Kennedy.
Wandering Souls by Cecile Pinn.
Now
that is our
long list, and it's a cracker.
It is. It really is. Lydia, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, just buzzing, just happy, because it's my favourite time of the year.
Yes.
And initially, I was like, because the first few ones that released, I was like, yes, I'm really happy to see Cursed Bread, Sophie McIntosh, friend of the pod. I was very pleased to see that on there, but I didn't see some of my firm favourites. So I was a bit like, oh, okay, so we're going a bit rogue. I think it's got quite a eclectic mix of books on the list.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to have like this through line of a theme, but I think within itself, it's very much like meant to be just, here is a section of this world, here's a section of that world, here's this little piece of this, and it feels like a really nice kind of smorgasbord of
yeah, I
fiction.
agree.
What do you think initially? Please tell me all.
I think it's a really, really great variety. I think there's a really nice diverse range of authors. There's a nice mix of genre in there. There's, you know, a nice range of authors are from various different places in the world. They're different ages. They have different styles of writing. So I just think it's like a nice, exciting range of voices. And like you said, there's no like direct through line. Like it is very varied. But I really liked it. I just felt like Clytemnestra was robbed.
Can I also say I feel like Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin was robbed. Like literally, and I want to pull my hair out. I'm like, come on, that book is gold. But looking at the authors that they have picked and looking at the books that they have picked, I don't know where Clytemnestra would have fit, because we already have Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. And also I think Tomorrow, I do think sometimes it gets looked over because of the gaming content. And I do believe that this has happened.
Potentially.
I think it puts people off, but it's just the greatest, one of the best. Well, it was the best novel I read last year. So
I am yet to read it. We've had too many books to read for the pod, so I haven't got around to it yet.
But I have.
I'm trying to.
We're trying.
But I feel like, I mean, I haven't read, the only book I've read on this list is Cursed Bread. So I can't really comment on what I think doesn't belong on there, because who am I? You know, who am I to say that something doesn't belong on there? And, you know, congratulations to all these women, you know, in their own rights. They've clearly written some excellent piece of work, and you know that's why it's made this list. But I don't know, I just really wish Clytemnestra was on there.
Absolutely.
I thought it was amazing. And I think because I've never been a fan or never felt attracted to myth retellings, I just think the fact that it hooked me in and it was just so incredibly written. And for a debut, like, it was just phenomenal. And I feel like Natalie Haynes has got like a platform and she's got like a great audience and she's already a very well-loved author. So for me, I'm like, it would have been really nice to see a debut author. If they only had the one slot for myth retellings, then I feel like the debut author, like, it would have been really nice for them to have got it. But I'm not in any way throwing shade at Natalie Haynes because...
No.
I mean, I've not read any Natalie Haynes, but I know that she's well-loved. So
I think you can see that there's quite a few well-established authors on there.
Yeah.
You know, it seems to favour kind of what we know in a way with some of them, like Barbara Kingsolver. She's a sure bet. You know, she's brilliant. You know, she's written prize-winning books before. You know that it's going to be like really good quality. And the same for, who else was going to say? Maggie O'Farrell. She won the Women's Prize with Hamlet like literally 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So again, she's going to be one that it's like, she's a sure bet. Like, everyone was saying she was going to be on the list. We predicted she would be on the list. She was on the list. Like, it's not a surprise. That doesn't diminish how great Maggie O'Farrell is as an author.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where it's like, is the Women's Prize there to celebrate these established women authors who are brilliant and fantastic and who we know are fantastic and who already have a platform? Or should it be more focused on these debut women authors, these women that might need us to, you know, help push them, for them to stand on the shoulders of the Maggie O'Farrells, of the, you know, Camilla Shamsies, so that they can then be the next big thing, you know?
That's true.
So I think it's nice to see some established names on there, but I don't know, it would have been nice to see maybe a few more out there authors you don't know, or authors that you think I'd have loved to have seen like Julia Armfield on there.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just to see some authors, female authors that I feel are doing so great at what they're doing, but maybe aren't reaching the audience they could do.
God, you're so right. I hadn't even thought of Julia Armfield. That absolutely deserved a place on there.
100% deserved a place. I'm not sure it's eligible, but I think it might have come out just a bit too early. But regardless of that, it should have been on last year. But you know, she's one example of an author. You know, Meg Howrey, I'd have loved to have seen on. I know these are people we had on the podcast, but believe you me when I say I'm unbiased in terms of like this list, like it's cutthroat list. I really, really care about who's on it. And so it would have been nice to see more of those kind of less populist authors.
Yeah.
More kind of authors that when you talk about them, you feel like you're talking about a niche author, and it's like, but they're brilliant and they should be in everybody's hands. But
which ones are you most excited to read?
So before I read Cursed Bread, it would have been Cursed Bread, just because the concept of Cursed Bread is, if nobody's already checked out our pod episode with Sophie McIntosh, go check it out because it is absolutely brilliant. But the concept of Cursed Bread is based around a real life happening where a town was poisoned and everyone kind of went a bit off their heads, which is a technical term, when they eating contaminated bread, contaminated yeast. And it's about kind of this town's gradual descent into chaos. And it's just so incredible. So that concept alone would have got me to read that first.
Yeah.
But I think the one that I'm really excited to read is Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, just because I've picked it up so many times. That and Glory by No Violet Bulawayo, I've picked them up so many times, walking into bookstores and put them back.
Demon Copperhead. Demon's story begins with his traumatic birth to a single mother in a single wide trailer. Looking like a little blue prize fighter, for the life ahead of him, he would need all of that fighting spirit, along with buckets of charm, a quick wit, and some unexpected talents, legal and otherwise. In the southern Appalachian mountains of Virginia, poverty isn't an idea, it's as natural as the grass grows. For a generation growing up in this world, at the heart of the modern opioid crisis, addiction isn't an abstraction, it's neighbours, parents and friends. Family could mean love or reluctant foster care. For Demon, born on the wrong side of luck, the affection and safety he craves is as remote as the ocean he dreams of seeing one day. The wonder is in how far he's willing to travel to try and get there.
Sounds interesting, right?
That is a bit of me.
But also this might put you off, don't let it. So it is a retelling of David Copperfield.
Right.
But it's not like with Clytemnestra, it's not there to be a copy. It's only using it as a basis to kind of focus more on the opioid crisis in America. And
see, how funny is that though? Like, if I'd have just been told that it was a retelling of David Copperfield, I'd be like, I won't pick it up.
Yeah,
I read that blurb, and I'm like, sold.
See?
Yeah.
And this is the great thing about this list as well, because it is very much like, you know, it'll play against your preconceptions and your misconceptions about things, because it's there to say, just give it a go. And you know, I mean, if anyone's read Piranesi, they'll know exactly what I mean by preconceptions and misconceptions.
That's so true.
But because you pick that up and you go, I'm not going to like this.
Yeah.
Or, oh, this is going to be a great just fantasy tale like I love. And within 5 minutes, it's turned it on its head.
Yeah.
And it's
I was not expecting to like that at all. And you've been telling me, like, Hannah, read it. You'll change your mind.
Read it.
And I was like, no, God, no. It doesn't sound like my cup of tea at all. And then I read it and I was like... I think, do you know what? I think in the last year and a half, I've learned to really not trust the genres that I gravitate towards, because whilst I do love them and I favour them, like, it is so important for me to try out other genres, because I've been so pleasantly surprised by all the things that I've been like really reluctant to pick up.
100%. What are you most excited to see on there? What's going to be your first pick up?
I am very excited to read I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. I have been wanting to read that for ages, and I've been wanting to buy it for ages. I am also excited for Trespasses by Louise Kennedy, which I've got on my shelf and I really want to read it. And also Wandering Souls by Cecile Pin, because I've seen so much hype about that on Instagram and everyone seems to be just totally in love with it. So I am raring to go with those three.
I feel like I'm a fan. Has been getting loads and loads of buzz.
Yeah.
But then I feel like just a little bit of it's getting a little bit of a pushback from some people that I'm seeing. Bookstagram community, some reviewers are giving it a little bit of a less glowing reception. So I'm really interested to read that for myself and get an opinion on that, because I don't, like, originally I thought it was non-fiction because I had no clue what it was. And then I wasn't even sure that it was eligible because it's so short. It's like,
I'm a Fan is?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like this.
Oh, because I've seen the cloth-bound book. I didn't realise it was so short.
Like, a physical demonstration, it would be a smidge.
No way.
It'd be smidge. Yeah, full smidge.
Shock.
But I'll just read a bit of the blurb so people can hear about it. So, I'm a Fan tells the story of an unnamed narrator's involvement in a seemingly unequal romantic relationship. With a clear and unforgiving eye, Sheena Patel makes startling connections between power struggles at the heart of human relationships to those in the wider world, offering a devastating critique of social media, access and patriarchal systems. Now you can see why I thought that might be non-fiction. So I was like, what?
I can't believe you thought it was non-fiction.
I don't know why. It's one of them things. I've done it many a time. But yeah, so to me it sounds interesting. Like, I'm loving the patriarchal system thing. I'm not really a fan of like social media and stuff like that. I'm like,
oh no, see, I love stuff like that.
You do.
I'm so interested in the way that social media has become such a huge part of our lives and like the way that we use it. I mean, you've only just started to really utilize social media with like the podcast and stuff, haven't you? You weren't really like a big social media user. Yeah.
If you look at me, like anything to do with me pre-2019, maybe. I'm gone. I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm like under the radar. Maybe I'm an FBI agent or an MI6 agent.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm so interested in our use of social media and how it sort of shapes the sort of collective identity and how it shapes the way that we speak to each other and our like communication to one another and how it shapes our like friendships and relationships. And yeah, I just think social media is just so fascinating in that sense. And I think like it's sort of like trash TV, but I was really in love with Catfish. I was so, oh my God, I could not. Like, if like I don't normally gravitate towards it, but if it's on TV, like I'll watch it and I won't be able to stop watching because it's just like, how are people like creating these like online personas and they get away with it for so long, and it blows my mind, like it honestly does. So yeah, I am really excited for that. One book that I'm actually excited for, which I'd forgotten to mention, is Homesick by Jennifer Croft, and that is one of the books on the list that I'd never heard of before this list went on, and it's an indie press, which is amazing, and I will read a little bit of this blurb. So sisters Amy and Zoe grew up in Oklahoma where they are homeschooled for an unexpected reason. Zoe suffers from debilitating and mysterious seizures, spending her childhood in hospitals as she undergoes surgeries. Meanwhile, Amy flourishes intellectually, showing an innate ability to glean a world beyond the troubles in her home life, exploring that world through languages first. Amy's first love appears in the form of her Russian tutor, Sasha. When she enters university at the age of 15, why is she going to university at the age of 15? Her life changes drastically and with tragic results. The coming-of-age story of an award-winning translator, Homesick is about learning to love language in its many forms, healing through words, and the promises and perils of empathy and sisterhood.
You're going to love that.
I mean, I'm one of 4 girls. Like, obviously, I'm going to gravitate towards a story about sisters.
You know which bit attracts me the most?
The first love appears in the form of a Russian tutor.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I love that, and I also love debilitated and mysterious seizures.
Yes.
Go on. Give me a feel there.
Why is she having these seizures? What's going on?
What is going on? We need to find out, and we need to find out now.
Trespasses is an affair.
Is it?
And you know I love an affair. So there is nothing special about the day Kushla meets Michael, a married man from Belfast, in the pub owned by her family. But here, love is never far from violence, and this encounter will change both of their lives forever. As people get up each morning and go to work, school, church or the pub, the daily news rolls in of another car bomb exploded, another man beaten, killed or left for dead. In the class Kushla teaches, the vocabulary of 7-year-old children now includes phrases like petrol bomb and rubber bullets. And as she is forced to tread lines she never thought she would cross, tensions in the town are escalating, threatening to destroy all she is working to hold together. That sounds like a
The last Northern Irish book I read was Milkman.
See, the last one I read was Small Things Like These. Was that Northern Ireland?
I can't remember. No.
It was not. It
yes,
was.
It
was.
No, it is. But yeah, and I didn't. Me and Milkman, we didn't gel. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be having him round to drop me off my milk in the mornings. I really didn't get on with it. But this sounds like something a bit of me, definitely. You see, I'm very interested in Pod by Lillian Paul. Do you want to give us a name?
Give us a whirl.
I will. Okay, so how would you say that? How would you say that name, Hannah? E-A. E? Will we say E?
Yeah. E. I'd say E.
E. We'll say E for now, and
we could be wrong.
You know, please tell us if we're wrong, and by that I mean don't. So leave us alone. No one likes a spoff, as we call them up north, right? Eve has always felt like an outsider. She suffers from a type of deafness that means she cannot master the spinning rituals that unite her pod of spinner dolphins. We're talking dolphins, people. When tragedy strikes her family and Eve feels she's partly to blame, she decides to make the ultimate sacrifice and leave. As Eve ventures into the vast, she discovers dangers everywhere, from lurking predators to strange objects floating in the water. But just as she's coming to terms with her solitude, a chance encounter with a group of arrogant bottlenoses will irrevocably alter the course of her life. In her terrifying, propulsive novel, Lillian Paul explores the true meaning of family, belonging, sacrifice, the harmony and tragedy of the pod within an ocean that is no longer the sanctuary it once was, and which reflects a world all too recognisable to our own.
Oh.
Okay, immediate feelings. I'm not sure I can cope with being a dolphin.
Why are we dolphins?
I'm not sure I can cope. But, I mean, there's this that's a dolphin. The whole of Glory is narrated by animals as well.
Is it?
So, yeah, Glory is basically an animal farm, but...
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like animal narration. They seem to like that this year. So, whilst I'm kind of intrigued by that, I'm not... First of all, I stress about animals in books. If anyone's read Hungry Ghosts yet by Kevin Jarrett Hassine, just so you know, there's a lot of dogs in that suffer.
No,
and that I struggled so much with that just because of that. So I don't know. Is it just going to stress me out? But then I'm really interested in the fact that that's so different.
Probably, but I feel like I'm more drawn to it now, knowing that it's
dolphins.
No, Glory. Sorry.
All right.
No. Pod I'm unsure of. I'm intrigued by it, but I'm unsure if I'll vibe with it. Yeah, I'm not sure. But Glory, now that you've said about Animal Farm, I'm willing to give it a go.
The main character is a goat. And not as in, like, goat, great small time. Just like an actual physical goat.
I love it. I love goats, you know. Have you seen the videos of them when they just faint? I think they're fucking mint.
Do not tell me that your spirit animal is a fucking goat.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, they just faint all the time, and it's like, imagine just being able to do that. Like, just being like, oh, I'm a bit bored.
No, but I think it's involuntary. I think it's like a fear response. Imagine being terrified at an audition, just fainting like a goat.
Why are we laughing at goats fainting? That's not normal. It's cruel.
I don't think it's that cool. Have you ever seen, what are they called? Possum.
Oh, God, yeah.
Possums play dead. Like, you make a loud noise like that. Anyway,
I need to look at what a possum looks like. Oh my God, no, they look like rats. I can't.
I love a rat. Can't go wrong.
No.
Have you ever seen a rat in a
Don't, because I've got a phobia of rats. I don't like them.
Hannah, a rat in a bow tie.
I don't want to see a rat. I don't want to see a rat full stop.
Tell me that. No. This is a litmus test. You put anything in a bow tie, it will look either cute or like it's about to give you a job interview. Don't tell me, do not tell me that you could deny a little rat, bow tie on, bowler hat.
Get the fuck away from me. Get it away from me. Nope. Get it away from me. Stop trying to sell me the rat. I don't want it.
Have you ever watched Ratatouille?
No.
Heartwarming. It's beautiful.
No.
Remy, he makes a restaurant.
Get it out. I hate them so much. It makes my skin crawl.
We're gonna have a night. We're gonna watch Ratatouille and we're gonna
thank you.
To the funeral.
I am unavailable for the foreseeable future.
So carrying on with the concept of animals, we also have The Dog of the North by Elizabeth Mackenzie. This was one I knew nothing about.
I saw Sapphire from Book Bodega raving about this. She says she read it in 2 sittings.
Really?
Yeah, and she said it was like she wasn't sure going into it if she'd like it, but she said it was like really funny, really like gorgeous storytelling. Yeah, she thought it was mint. So go on, give it to her.
So Penny Rush has problems.
Same.
We relate, Penny, we relate. Freshly divorced from her mobile knife sharpener husband.
What? Was he a knife sharpener?
But a mobile knife sharpener husband, like, he goes round, how many people need the knife sharpening? This could be our next venture. The pod doesn't work. She has returned home to Santa Barbara to deal with her grandfather, who is being moved into a retirement home by his cruel second wife. Her grandmother, meanwhile, has been found in possession of a sinister-sounding weapon called the scintillator. Well,
Scintillator.
And something even worse in her woodshed. Penny's parents have been missing in the Australian outback for many years now, and so Penny must deal with this spiralling family crisis alone. Enter the Dog of the North. Not a dog. The Dog of the North is a borrowed van, replete with yellow gingham curtains, wood panelling, a futon, a piñata, clunky brakes, and difficult steering. Sounds like my life. It's also Penny's getaway car from a failed marriage, a family in crisis, and an uncertain future. This darkly, dryly comic novel follows Penny as she sets out in the dog to find a way through the curveballs life has thrown at her, and in doing so, find a way back to herself.
Oh, this sounds a bit of me. Why is nobody concerned about the fact that her parents have been missing in the Australian outback for many years? Like, why are we calm?
Were they took by dingoes? I need to know.
Why is everybody calm about this? And where her concerns are about dealing with the family crisis on her own rather than figuring out where the fuck her parents have gone missing.
We don't know.
I'm concerned, guys.
I feel like this is on the list instead of Really Good Actually by Monica Heisey.
Really?
I feel like
Good Actually?
I feel like oh, you're so funny. I can't. That's it. I'm not talking to you.
On. I hate me too.
I'm intrigued by that. Will it be an automatic bite? Not sure. I need some people to tell me about it first.
So you think basically that Really Good Actually was robbed?
Yeah. I'll be honest.
I've still not read it. It's on my bedside table.
it has one of the greatest fantasy scenes in it I've ever read.
Fantasy?
Of a fantasy. She has danger.
Oh, I thought you meant the fantasy genre, and I was like,
no. The protagonist, really good actually. She's getting divorced. It's miserable, and she is fantasizing about being on stage in a karaoke bar, and she just happens to be in the same karaoke bar as her ex-husband, and she looks the best she's ever looked, and she thinks, oh, I'll get up and sing a song, and she gets up and she starts singing, and everyone's like, oh my goodness, did you know she has the voice of Whitney Houston? And it's like, I've had that fantasy.
I've had those fantasies. I was just going to say.
Like, yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. Like, how amazing is she? And it's just so keenly observed and hysterical. So it's a shame I've not seen that on this list, because it would have been nice to. But yeah, I think that maybe that was in place of it, because it seems like it's one of the only comic novels on there, or slightly comic novels on there. I think the next book that I really wanted to look at was Children of Paradise.
Ooh, okay.
Camilla Gradova.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Do you want to read a bit of that, Han?
When Holly applies for a job at the Paradise, one of the city's oldest cinemas, squashed into the ground floor of a block of flats, she thinks it would be like any other shift work. She cleans toilets, sweeps popcorn, avoids the belligerent old owner, Iris, and is ignored by her aloof but tight-knit colleagues who seem as much a part of the building as its fraying carpets and endless dirt. Dreadful, lonely weeks pass while she longs for their approval, a silent voyeur. So when she finally gains the trust of this cryptic band of oddballs, Holly transforms from silent drudge to rebellious insider, and gradually she too becomes part of the Paradise, unearthing its secrets, learning its history, and haunting its corridors after hours with the other ushers. It is no surprise when violence strikes, tempers change, and the group, eyes still fixed to the screen, starts to rapidly go awry.
Awry.
Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it. That's awry.
Awry. Very good. I'm really glad that I can read.
Yeah, but yeah, we're learning. This is what the pod is for. Now, I think that sounds amazing. Old cinema, a group of oddballs, cool, mystery stuff. It's up my street. I just want to work in old cinema.
In an old cinema?
Yeah, like a creepy one with ghosts.
Why do you always have these weird, wants?
I'm telling you, one day I will embalm a body, and one day I will work in an old cinema.
You will embalm a body in an old cinema?
Maybe. We need to make that work.
I don't want to be a part.
We could be Burke and Hare.
No, I would feel deeply uncomfortable, and no, I don't know who they are. I know you're disappointed in me. I know fuck all, but
Burke and Hare used to go around stealing bodies out of graves and things.
No, I'm absolutely not doing that with you.
And sell them for science experiments.
No, you know what? You do you, hon.
Then they started murdering people because they were like, we haven't got enough bodies and they're not fresh enough.
Good God. Right. So this book you're interested in.
Yeah.
Me, not so sure. Not so sure. Yeah, it will be. And if you say it's good. We've got Black Butterflies by Priscilla Morris.
Tell me about that.
Sarajevo, spring 1992. Each night, nationalist gangs erect barricades, splitting the diverse city into ethnic enclaves. Each morning, the residents, whether Muslim, Croat, or Serb, push the makeshift barriers aside. Zora, an artist and teacher, is focused on her family, her students, her studio in the old town. But when violence finally spills over, she sees that she must send her husband and elderly mother to safety with her daughter in England. Reluctant to believe that hostilities will last more than a handful of weeks, she stays behind. As her city falls under siege and everything they loved is laid to waste, black ashes floating over the rooftops, Zora and her friends are forced to rebuild themselves over and over, inspired by real-life accounts of the longest siege in modern warfare. Only 30 years ago, Black Butterflies is a breathtaking portrait of disintegration, resilience, and hope. I am sold on that.
Yeah. I'd sold on that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd definitely read that.
I love the fact that she's an artist and a teacher as well.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to make for really good stuff.
Yeah, and she sends her family away for what she only thinks will be a handful of weeks.
Can you imagine? And the fact that it's inspired by real life accounts.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely interested in that.
I love me a bit of inspired by a real true life story.
Yeah, me too. I'm eager for that. We got next Fire Rush.
Fire Rush.
Give it some lid.
Now, guys at home, you can't maybe see this, but please Google it on your phone, because the cover for Fire Rush is gorgeous. One of the most gorgeous covers I've seen in ages. teenagers. And it also has Beautiful by Caleb Azuma McNelson on, and One to Watch by the Bernardine Evaristo.
So
if
I'm sold already.
there's ever any praise,
Whatever they tell me to read, I'll read.
Okay, so you may live to the weekend when she can go raving with her friends at the Crypt, an underground club in the industrial town on the outskirts of London where she was born and raised. A young woman unsure of the future, the sound is her guide. A chance to discover who she really is in the rhythms of these smoke-filled nights. In the dance floor darkness, dub is the music of her soul, her friendships, her ancestry. But everything changes when she meets Moose, the man she falls deeply in love with and who offers her the chance of freedom and escape. When their relationship is brutally cut short, Yamei goes on a dramatic journey of transformation that takes her first to Bristol, where she's caught up in a criminal gang and the police riots sweeping the country, and then to Jamaica, where past and present collide with explosive consequences. I'm not massively over that, though. I think, you know what I like about books about music?
Yeah, that's fair. Although, didn't you get a book about music? Was it last year? Last year's list?
Yeah, I did.
Which one was it now? That's going to annoy me.
The final revival of Opal and
Yes. You didn't read it, did you?
No.
So what are you moaning for then?
About music.
Well, you wanted it. It might be really good.
I know.
No, I think this would be great.
The whole like Daisy Jones and the Six vibes, like everyone's going crazy about that at the minute.
Yeah.
No, I can't be dealing with it because it's about music. But
everything changes when she meets Moose, the man she falls deeply in love with, who offers her the chance of freedom and escape. I would only need to read that and be like, okay, I'll read it. But why is the relationship cut brutally short? That's what I'm like.
I bet he died to me.
And there's a dramatic journey of transformation and criminal gang, police riots, and then to Jamaica. Yeah, I'm game for that. I'm ready.
All right. Well, that can be one you buy and I read.
Yeah, that sounds good. Also, I would buy it just to have that beautiful cover on my shelf.
Oh no, I know. I wonder what the spine's like. Such a sad thing to say.
Not at all. I think a nice spine is important.
So, Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow. Have you heard anything about this? I've heard a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of hype around it.
Right.
I'm already intrigued. And also it says, I love this novel by Roxane Gay. So if Roxane Gay says she loves it, then I'm open to it.
Yeah. Do you want to read this one out?
Already, fleeing her husband's explosive temper. Yes. Miriam has brought her two daughters, Joan and Maya, back to Memphis, to the home her father built in the 40s. Joan was only a child the last time she visited Memphis. She doesn't remember the bustle of Beale Street on a summer's night or the smell of honeysuckle as she climbs the porch steps to her aunt's house. But when the front door opens, she does remember her cousin Derek. As Joan learns more about her family's past, she discovers she's not the only North woman to have experienced great hurt, but she also sees their resilience and courage, how these extraordinary women fry green tomatoes and braid hair and sing all the while. Memphis has changed since Joan's grandparents lived there. Streets once filled with the beat of protest and blues now echo with gunfire. But Joan still looks for the beauty in this city, in its people, and she realises that to make a future for herself, she must find her own song to sing.
Oh, you know what I'm getting off that? Toni Morrison vibes. I am.
I thought you were going to say you were put off because it says she must find her own song to sing.
I'm just hoping it's not an actual physical song that's to kind of put me through having to try and imagine.
You're like, she's singing, that's the book done for me. No, I was sold by the first sentence. Fleeing her husband's explosive temper, escaping with the children.
Running with the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what cousin Derek's done.
Yes. I'm intrigued by him. What's he done? What's going on?
What has he done?
And also I love sort of like love letters to cities. Not literal love letters to cities, but, you know, in a book.
When it's just a collection of like to Paris for the memories we had.
But it's like, you know how Cleo and Frank is a love letter to New York, and I can't think of any of the books right now, but there's so many books where it's like you really see like the beauty of the city and what that place means to the people, and
it's not always good, but physical presence of the place. Like I would say Wuthering Heights is like one of those books where the moors are a character itself, and you know, without being set there it wouldn't be the book it is.
Yeah, Yeah, so I'm really ready to read this. It sounds great. And it's published by John Murray. Oh, love
I
that.
know, they're all best mates.
I love them. Guys, smashed it.
Right.
Stone Blind.
Stone Blind. Has this robbed Clytemnestra space? Let's have a read and see if it's worthy of its place. Medusa is the sole mortal in a family of gods. Growing up with her Gorgon sisters, she begins to realise that she's the only one who experiences change, the only one who can be hurt, and her mortal lifespan gives her an urgency that her family will never know. When the sea god Poseidon commits an unforgivable act in the temple of Athene, the goddess takes her revenge where she can, and Medusa is changed forever. Writhing snakes replace her hair, and her gaze now turns any living creature to stone. The power cannot be controlled. Medusa can look at nothing without destroying it. She is condemned to a life of shadows and darkness, until Perseus embarks upon a quest to fetch the head of a Gorgon. Okay. You know what it's done? It's got caught me on the end of its little fish hook, and it's really big. I've nibbled.
I can't cope with you. We're delirious.
Delirious. Let me tell you guys, we've already done a podcast today. It was a very good podcast with a fantastic guest, and we are a bit delirious.
Yeah, just a bit.
We always are when it's just us as well. When we haven't got the structure of a guest, it's chaos.
I'm thinking it sounds good. Do I think I'd put it on there over Clytemnestra? Don't know.
No.
I don't know. But again, no shade to Natalie Haynes. I need to try reading her work. I can't just like somebody else
now. And as a bookseller, I should know. But does she just write, like, not just, but does she write retellings, or does she write other things as well?
I'm pretty sure, from what I've seen, it's only retellings, I think.
Right. Cool. No, interesting. We all love our niche.
The Bandit Queens.
Oh, let's listen to that. Go on, hit me.
For Gita, life as a widow is... you're already sold at widow.
I am. Death. There we go.
For Gita, life as a widow is more peaceful than life as a wife. Oh, I say more peaceful. Tell me.
Great.
Until
the
other women in her village decide they want to be widows too.
Yes. I'm reading this book.
I knew it. Gita is believed to have killed her banished husband.
Even better.
A rumour she hasn't bothered trying to correct.
It was.
Because a reputation like that can keep a single woman safe in rural India. But when she's approached for help in ridding another wife of her abusive drunk of a husband, her reluctant agreement sets in motion a chain of events that will change the lives of all the women in the village. A darkly irreverent and fresh take on a feminist revenge thriller, perfect for readers of My Sister the Serial Killer, How to Kidnap the Rich, and the Sharon Horgan series Bad Sisters. That series I am still yet to watch, but I've heard so many good things about it. But also, My Sister the Serial Killer was so good.
It was just beautiful.
So I am interested in this. I would go for that.
Same.
Yeah, that's me sold. Lydia, give us the marriage portrait.
I shall. Winter 1561, Lucrezia, Duchess of Ferrara, is taken on an unexpected visit to a country villa by her husband Alfonso. I love the name Alfonso. As they sit down to dinner, it occurs to Lucrezia that Alfonso has a sinister purpose in bringing her here. He intends to kill her. Lucrezia is 16 years old and has led a sheltered life locked away inside Florence's grandest palazzo. Here, in this remote village, she is entirely at the mercy of her increasingly erratic husband. What is Lucrezia to do with this sudden knowledge? What chance does she have against Alfonso, ruler of a province and a trained soldier? How can she ensure her survival? The marriage portrait is an unforgettable reimagining of the life of a young woman whose proximity to power places her in mortal danger. Oh, quite like that.
I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it.
Why?
I don't know.
16-year-old girl married to mental husband.
Well, yeah, but no, to be fair, that's right, yeah. I would go for that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then having to figure out how the heck do I get away from him without being murdered.
Yeah, okay, fair. I think I saw 1561 and...
Checked out.
I've read so much great historical fiction.
I know you have.
So I don't know what the problem is with me. I don't know what it is.
No, because I feel like you will. It's hard to get rid of a bias like that, especially when you've had it like all your life. Because I've had that before, and like I have to say, they're probably more of a visceral reaction to romance novels as you do to historical fiction. I feel like you're a bit more up for like a bit of romance, whereas if like one of these was like John and Elliot fall in love, and I'm like, oh, no,
not a fan.
Is there death? Will there be death? No? Okay.
No, not interested.
So I totally get it. I don't know.
Last one, Wandering Souls.
Last but not least, is Wandering Souls by Cecile Pym.
Oh, wait. Ocean Vuong already.
Oh, yeah.
A humane and genre-defying work of love and uncompromising hope.
You know, when people write reviews and they can write something like that, I'm usually just like, the book was good.
Yeah, same.
It was really enjoyable.
Same one.
Excellent a lot as well. Anyway, one night, not long after the last American troops leave Vietnam, siblings Anne, Tan, and Min flee their village and embark on a perilous boat journey to Hong Kong. Their parents and 4 younger siblings make the crossing in another vessel, but as weeks go by, it becomes clear that only one party has survived the voyage. Anne, Tan, and Min suddenly find themselves alone in the world without family or home. They travel on, navigating refugee camps and resettlement centres until, by a twist of fate, they arrive in Thatcher's Britain.
Oh, I didn't know it was Thatcher's Britain.
Here, they must somehow build new lives with only each other to turn to, but what will be enough in a place that doesn't seem to want them? In this piercing debut, the siblings' faltering journey is deftly interwoven with the voice of their lost younger brother, Dao, following them from a place between the living and the dead, and the records of an unknown researcher intent on gathering the strands of their story. Revelatory and inventive, Wandering Souls paints a heart-wrenching portrait of a family in unimaginable adversity while exploring the healing power of stories. Oh my gosh.
I did not know it was. I knew it was something to do with Vietnam.
Yeah. So the American troops leave, and then the siblings go to, I assume, to go to Hong Kong, maybe for a better life or for some reason. But then how they end up in Thatcher's Britain will be very interesting, and then how the heck you navigate that life.
I'm 100% sold, and also the book has the most beautiful cover. And it's a debut, and it's already got so much hype. I think it's Book Bar's Book of the Month. It's on this list. It's getting reviews from Ocean Vuong. So already, you know, it's going to be good. And the whole of Instagram are raving about it. So,
you know what? That's just bumped that right up my list.
Has it?
Yeah, massively.
Which ones have you already got?
So I have got Cursed Spread, got and read.
Yeah.
I'm a Fan, got. The Marriage Portrait, got. Trespasses, got.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So I've got those 4. I think out of those 4, I would probably read I'm a Fan next, just because it's so small.
So small, yeah.
It would be nice to like...
So you're going to get next Demon Copperhead.
Demon Copperhead, and you know what? Wandering Souls.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely.
Well, I think...
Oh, and Children of Paradise. Children of Paradise, I'm so sorry.
Children of Paradise.
What you?
Oh, yes. So I already have on my TBR pile The Marriage Portrait, Trespasses, and I've read Cursed Bread. I think that's all I've got out of the long list.
How did you get hold of a copy of The Marriage Portrait?
I don't know. Might have been weird. A friend of mine that wants to embalm bodies and...
Listen, someone's got to do it. I will do it.
That is our soundbite social media. Thank you.
If we've got any bookends listening that have a spare body at home, please
Lydia, please.
A pair of bookends at...
Okay.
Stop.
Somebody turn this woman's mic off. I'm the host of this Zoom. I will be muting you right now.
I do sign language.
Good God. Okay. So what I'm thinking of buying next is Wandering Souls. I'm a Fan, and potentially Homesick or Demon Copperhead, maybe.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Bandit Queens.
No, yeah. To be fair,
to
be fair, yeah.
Like
so hard. I'm so intrigued by all of them now. Right, quickly, we need to do a quick fire because this is meant to be a Minisode on. So this long list is being whittled down to a short list of 6 novels, which has been announced on April 26th. What is our guess for the short list? Lydia, go.
Oh,
Don't overthink it.
okay. Is this what I would like or what I think will make it?
What you think will make it to the list.
What I think will make it: Demon Copperhead,
Yeah.
Cursed Brad,
Yeah.
Stone Blind,
Yeah.
Marriage Portrait, Wandering Souls.
Interesting.
Go.
Okay. Wandering Souls, The Marriage Portrait, Demon Copperhead, Fire Rush,
Ooh.
Stone Blind, Trespassers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Glory.
Yeah, potentially Glory, but because it made other lists already. But
Like the Booker's darling, was it, for a bit?
I've seen so much hype for Trespassers, and like Nick Hornby said a beautiful, devastating novel. Marion Keyes said broke my heart a million times. Max Porter said absolutely loved it. So it's got loads of hype, and I've only seen good things about it.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like that might be would it be classed as contemporary fiction? The literary fiction pick of the bunch?
Which one?
Trespassers.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd get, yeah.
So Trespassers, Wandering Souls, Demon Copperhead, Fire Rush, Stone Blind. I don't remember what I said now.
I thought this one might be Quick Fire.
Yeah, it was meant to be, but... Who's going to be the winner?
It's going to be the winner. Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I think it's going to win either that or The Marriage Portrait.
Yeah, I can see. Are you just thinking that though because they're like huge books and they're well-known authors?
Actually, I think that they are most likely to win.
I'm going to say Stone Blind.
Oh, even after Piranesi?
Oh, actually, that's a point. No, I might actually say they might do Wandering Souls.
Really? They're going to go
Yeah.
that field?
I would like...
You Wandering Souls?
Yeah, and I'd be so happy if they did a debut as the winner. I'd love it.
It would be brilliant. I honestly think that it's great to see those big names on there, but let's see a debut get. Well, I would like to see the majority of the shortlist be authors new to us.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Now, that is all we've got time for. If you want to chat to us some more about your own predictions for the shortlist or what you think about this episode, then you can email us at pairofbookenspod@gmail.com, or you can DM us at a pair of bookends pod on Instagram, or at a pair of bookends on Twitter and TikTok. I don't think you'd want to DM us on TikTok though, but
no, but
you do you, hun.
If you want to send me the bodies, that's where you need.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, don't do that, guys. If you want us to do any other minisodes, we are always open to suggestions. So again, please comment or message us or send a pigeon with a note.
Send a rat in a bow tie with a tiny envelope to
Right, that's it. We've got to go, guys.
With suggestions.
Don't know who's put a mic in front of her. It's been emotional. Until next year.
No!
This has been the Women's Prize special mini-sode. Thank you and good night. Please don't forget to rate, review and subscribe, as it helps us to reach other listeners and boost us in the charts. And love you all. Thank you so much for listening and for showing support. It's almost our year anniversary. We love you. So close. We love you. Goodbye.
Big up the women.